Following the April 2025 U.S. tariff hike on Chinese imports, something alarming happened. A new wave of cyberattacks hit America's digital infrastructure, fast, coordinated, and targeted. Chinese state-sponsored hackers infiltrated telecom networks, energy grids, and even government systems. These weren't random breaches. They were part of a bigger picture: China's cyber espionage used as economic retaliation. At Quantum Cyber AI, we explore how technology, policy, and cyber threats intersect. And this isn't just about data theft. These are long-term infiltration campaigns aimed at weakening the U.S. during moments of diplomatic strain. As the U.S.-China trade conflict intensifies, so does the risk of tariff-related cyberattacks. China's cyber espionage refers to organized, government-backed cyber campaigns to extract sensitive data from governments, corporations, and infrastructure systems. It's a digital battlefield. Their goals: gain leverage, steal IP, monitor policymakers, and increasingly embed in systems for potential disruption. Since 2015's OPM breach, this threat has evolved. Groups like Typhoon and Typhoon now lead advanced persistent threat campaigns. Their approach isn't smash and grab. It's silent and surgical. Typhoon, for instance, infiltrates U.S. infrastructure using tools built into the system, avoiding detection. Their breaches align with flashpoints like sanctions and tariff hikes. Typhoon, on the other hand, focuses on telecom surveillance. In 2024, they breached 9 major U.S. telecom firms, accessing call logs, emergency alert data, and internal systems. Why? Intelligence, political leverage, strategic disruption. These groups don't act alone. APT41 blends espionage with cybercrime. Earth Alux crafts custom malware to bypass defenses. Together, they form an ecosystem of state-sponsored cyber retaliation, operating under a doctrine of economic warfare. Typhoon's campaign from 2023 to 25 showed how serious this has become. Ports, utilities, transportation, all compromised for months, undetected. Chinese officials later admitted this was retaliation for tariffs and U.S. support for Taiwan. Tariff policies aren't just about economics anymore. Each time the U.S. imposes a tariff, cyberattacks follow. Beijing sees sanctions as aggression and responds with asymmetric warfare, digital retaliation without crossing into kinetic conflict. In fact, some 9% of U.S. IT leaders in a 2025 survey cited China as the top cyber threat. And after the April 2025 tariffs, sectors like shipping, energy, and logistics faced phishing, DNS hijacking, and reconnaissance campaigns. Let's look at some recent hacks. Typhoon infiltrated U.S. critical infrastructure between 2023 and 2025. They used native IT tools to stay hidden and timed their attack to coincide with trade tensions. Typhoon's 2024 telecom breach targeted data tied to government communications and emergency systems, just as Congress debated new trade enforcement bills. Chinese hackers also breached U.S. defense contractors and civilian trade agencies using zero-day vulnerabilities. Taiwan's networks were hit too, aiming at U.S.-funded programs. Why Telecom? It offers metadata on policy calls, internal routing, and even emergency protocols. Why energy and water? These are critical systems Beijing may want to control or disable during a future conflict. The defense sector is also a prime target. In 2022, APT41 breached a U.S. defense contractor and stole drone schematics timed around new U.S. export controls. China uses these operations to catch up militarily and push back diplomatically. The bigger picture: these aren't just cyber attacks. They're strategic signals, ways to extract leverage, preposition, disruption, capabilities, and gather intelligence in real time. So how do we defend against this? CISOs must adopt zero-trust frameworks, use AI-based anomaly detection, patch vulnerabilities, fast monitor IoT and edge devices, segment networks to isolate breaches. NIST now recommends AI-enhanced monitoring to catch stealthy attacks like these. And the federal government, they must enforce minimum cybersecurity standards, mandate breach disclosures, fund secure by design development, expand real-time intel sharing. CISA's recent guidelines were created in direct response to Volt Typhoons and Salt Typhoons attacks. And if budget cuts threaten that progress, we risk letting our infrastructure fall behind. The bottom line, China's cyber retaliation isn't theory, it's happening now. Volt Typhoon, Salt Typhoon, APT41. These aren't just headlines. They're a part of a calculated effort to influence policy and retaliate against economic pressure. At Quantum Cyber AI, we break down these threats every week. Subscribe to stay informed on the latest in cyber conflict, AI-powered attacks, and national security risks. Leave a comment if you've seen signs of these trends in your industry, or if you want us to cover another case. Stay safe, stay alert, and stay ahead